As we're diving into this CDK series more and more, I really want to focus on how to actually navigate CDKs or cloud development kits. So in my previous video, which you can see right up here, we went through the AWS CDK files, folders, everything that gets created, and ultimately what each does. So we're going to do the same exact thing for the HashiCorp CDK, which is currently in beta right now and supports both Python and TypeScript. So with that, let's go ahead and cut it over to VS Code so we can get started with the HashiCorp CDK. So I'm at VS Code here, and what we're going to do is we're going to initialize a new project for the HashiCorp CDK. Now, if you don't already have the HashiCorp CDK installed, you can use npm to install it. You can use Homebrew, a bunch of different ways. Just go ahead and Google that. So from the terminal, I'm going to type Cdk Tf init template equals Python. Let's go ahead and move up the terminal here. So as we can see, we get a little message here, and it says the local storage mode isn't recommended for storing the state of your stacks. Do you want to continue with Terraform Cloud Remote Stage Management? Let's go ahead and say yes. Okay, so now at this point, I'm just going to move over this web browser here. And as you can see here, I get prompted to type in my username and password for Terraform Cloud. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign in. And as we can see, we can create an API token. So let's go ahead and create a new API token, and we can see it right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to click done. And then I'm going to head back over to VS Code here. And as you can see, it's asking me for that token. I'm going to paste it in, and then I'm going to click enter. So as you can see, I can now start to set up my stack. So for example, my project name, I can say Python getting started, for example. Project description, I'll leave that as is. Okay, so now we choose where we want our Terraform Cloud project. So in my case, I'm going to choose 1 for Cloud Dev Engineering. Okay, and as we can see, it's going to start to now activate and create all of these packages for pipenv and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the Explorer here, and under CDK series, as you can see, there's all of these new files here. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. First, we have our git ignore, and what our git ignore does is it essentially removes all of the imports, the init.py, anything in .terraform, which actually makes sense because you don't want to try to push up all those executables and packages and stuff. And then of course the Terraform TF state, okay, because the TF state, it's already going to be in Terraform Cloud for us. Next, we have our Cdk Tf.json, and this is going to essentially map out what our app is going to look like, the language that's being used, the application, so how to run it, so pipenv run python.py, all that good stuff. Then if we go into help, this is actually pretty interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the terminal there. So help is actually going to literally help us get started here for our entire Cdk Tf project. So we see a few different commands here and the descriptions of the commands. So if we wanted to go ahead and get started with that, we could. I'm going to leave the main.py for last. So the pip file here, which is going to tell us what the Python version is, the packages, the source, all that good stuff. And then the pip file.lock here to define all of that. And then finally, the main.py. This is automatically created for you. So then what you can do is you can start to define the resources, and you can literally do that right here, define resources. Now remember, in the CDK for AWS, it's very similar. If you didn't watch that video, go ahead and watch that video so you know what I'm talking about. But inside of the stack file or the stack.py, there's something there that says, you know, the code that you want to write goes here. Same exact thing for the HashiCorp CDK. It's saying that essentially leave everything here as is, and then just start putting in the code that you'd want to put in here to create new resources. So that's how to get started with, you know, navigating through the CDK and figuring out where all the different files are and things like that.